Now, listen, I was not aware about the baptism with Yamal and Messi before 2024 um, European Championship. So, the pride is there to just remain with their winner before the tournament, which was England. And, um, I wish they could have told us that Yamal was baptized by Messi before Copa America. Otherwise, I would have predicted Spain. But regardless, England made it to the final, and AFCON 2024, or excuse me, 2026, 2025, Morocco to win the final. They obviously had the refs on their side. World Cup semifinal, win a trophy, get over the line. But after all these BS decisions, the phantom foul on the goal by Senegal, and then the BS VAR ruling of the penalty, I'm glad Morocco lost. I mean, the Moroccan ball boys, like they were pushing and shoving Nigeria and Senegal players. They were just absolutely barbaric in their treatment of the players. And it seems like the Moroccan royal family just wanted to bribe their way to the tournament. And quite frankly, I think justice prevailed. I think Senegal were the most deserving team to win the tournament. I Quite frankly, I think I overlooked the fact that Senegal won the AFCON and they're still a strong team and they beat England 3-0 at Wembley. Say what you want about the referee decisions and all of that, but I think Senegal was the strongest team. They're able to score. Morocco, all they could do was defend, and quite frankly, it seems like that's all they're able to do. If you're not able to score a goal in 120 minutes, you don't deserve to win. If you needed a phantom a penalty kick and you couldn't execute, you don't deserve to win, quite frankly. And I was on the London Daily Mail website, right? All the comments were that, oh, they're barbaric, there's corruption in Africa. Um, now, AFCON's a joke. It's corrupt. I mean, look at the BS call for the Germany uh, Spain game. Like, Germany got absolutely screwed. Take a look at the 115s in the Premier League. Take a look at that. Take a look at controversial decisions in England, in Italia, in Spain. Like, corruption doesn't only exist in Africa, it exists in every country out there in a major footballing country. And the Premier League, in La Liga, in Syria, they're corrupt decisions every single week. So corruption is not just limited to Africa. But Morocco were desperate for a trophy without winning the African Cup of Nation in 50 years. And the African players, the black players, are more skilled than the Arab players. They were very desperate to win. But then, how was Algeria able to win in 2019? How was Algeria able to win in 2019? Was there many ref controversy with Algeria? How was Algeria able to win? You can't sit here and say Raheem Mahrez, because you still have Hakimi, you have other world class players like Brahim Diaz and El Nasri. So, I mean, Algeria don't have much of a history in African Cup of Nation, but how was Algeria able to win in 2019? Did Algeria need the referee to help them win in 2019? You should be a skilled team, Morocco. And they thought they could win by the referee alone. And Senegal deserve it. I took a bet on Morocco before the tournament, and based off of the referee's decisions, I was completely justified to bet Morocco because of the corruption. But Senegal prevailed. The best team prevailed. Sadio Mane is better than Mohamed Salah. He is the fraud Egyptian pharaoh. He goes. He needed Sadio Mane to open things up. Once Sadio Mane left to Bayern Munich, right? Salah and Liverpool, they struggled a little bit, and then suddenly they became good again, and it was a one-off. He was motivated to win Premier League, Salah, and then he coasted, and that's where we should lose some respect for Mohamed Salah. Is he did not keep the professional focus to keep your form as a professional footballer after winning the Premier League. And Salah was a passenger all season long. It was hurting his national team. Egypt needs Salah at top form to perform well in AFCON. When Salah is a passenger with Liverpool this season, because he's going to get the big contract in Saudi Arabia, it's hurting his Egyptian national team. And they won 7 AFCONs. I mean, it's such a big deal to win the African Cup of Nation. And Salah needed to be in top form, and he wasn't in top form. Uh, it was tactics. Maybe it was a lack of talent. It was certainly a lack of tactics. Sitting back in a park the bus, that hurt Egypt. So that hurt. Nigeria was scoring goals left and right. They have pretty good attacking talent. You know, for whatever reason, they didn't qualify for the World Cup, but they showed their attacking prowess in the African Cup of Nations, um, and Morocco neutralized Nigeria. So because Morocco were able to neutralize Nigeria, they had a chance to win, and they did, and they did not. It had nothing to do with the penalty. It had nothing to do with Brahim Diaz. Morocco just could not find the back of the net, and the game shouldn't come down to a last-second penalty. But Brahim Diaz, his ego and his pride cost his country and his nation in a penalty shootout. You don't play fire with fire. You don't gamble with a Paneka. You're just Brahim Diaz. You're sitting on the Real Madrid bench. You're not Andrea Pirlo, a World Cup winner, a Champions League winner with AC Milan, a Scudetto winner. You're not Zinedine Zidane, a Champions League winner, a World Cup winner, a one-time finalist in another World Cup final. You're not Zidane. You're not Pirlo. You're not going to gamble with the Paneka, with your country's 50-year AFCON title drought on the line. Quite frankly, I cannot feel sympathy for Brahim Diaz because he just wanted to show up Mendy. He wanted to show up Senegal. These fans have suffered long enough. You just want to pick a corner and just bury the shit out of the football. If he saves it, oh wow, it's football. A goalkeeper can make a tremendous save, guess the right way correctly, but you don't gamble with a Paneka. And his pride in his decision has contributed to his own downfall. If he didn't let pride and ego get in the way with this decision on how to go about, if he scores the penalty, Morocco win the African Cup of Nations. But all these antics with the ball boys, even the Moroccan journalists, they're pissed off because their Senegalese counterparts, They're just celebrating their team, but they're getting all pissy about that. I hope Brazil smacked the shit out of Morocco. Okay, this referee corruption, the Moroccan ball boys are shoving Nigerian and Senegalese players. This behavior is absolutely disgusting. Because the tournament is hosted by Morocco, because they haven't won a AFCON in 50 years, they're trying to resort to any means possible to win the AFCON. And it's nothing short of corruption. It's nothing short of bribery. I think Senegalese players were justified to walk off the pitch. This should not be future common behavior. I think, well, I mean, a phantom goal foul ruled out and then a phantom penalty call. It's not like the ref called a penalty and you're just pissed off. I mean, Senegal had a legitimate goal that was ruled out. It was ruled out. A legitimate goal ruled out. I think I stand with the Senegalese players. I think we, as fans, should take a stand against referee corruption in every competition. But nothing's going to change with AFCON because Gianni Infantino is corrupt. I think these ridiculously high ticket prices for the World Cup is all about laundering money into the pockets of Gianni Infantino and these corrupt FIFA executives. Because nothing's going to change because Infantino is a corrupt scumbag and FIFA is corrupt scumbags. Nothing's going to change with how AFCON runs their tournaments. Even the Euro has had terrible decisions. Corruption is just part of football, quite frankly. It is part of football. It's something that we all have to live with. The best team did win at the end. That is a victory. The referee did everything he could to give it to Morocco. But one player, a white player, cost Morocco the tournament. Did he miss on purpose? That was an unfair decision. Senegal lucking out. Did he just want to make it 0-0? Let's play out for a winner. I can't say Brian Diaz missed on purpose because he looked very devastated. And you just can't gamble with your country's hopes, and you have to make it out of the stadium alive. And I don't know if Brian Diaz is going to make it out of the stadium alive. Looks like he did. Maybe he had an escort, but I think some people are right that this is Real Madrid arrogance that caught up with this young lad on the penalty kick. Most goals in the tournament. A very storybook ending if he won the AFCON on the game-winning penalty, but he missed. And it was the worst penalty kick I have ever seen in my life. I've seen Simone Zaza for the Italian national team in 2016 against Germany. I think this is definitely the worst penalty kick I have ever seen. It was terrible. I just think pride and ego took over Brian Diaz, and it's very hard to have any sympathy for him. He didn't take account the suffering of the Moroccan supporters, and I think he should just pick a corner and bury it. If the goalkeeper saves it, it's football. It happens. The goalkeeper guesses the right way. He makes a tremendous dive. It happens. It's football. But he didn't even test the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper fall on his bottom, and he was able to get back up. And it was a very weak Paneka, too. It was very, very weak. It was terrible. So, this is my thoughts on the penalty miss from Morocco. Senegal deserved it. Morocco, very, very bad behavior. The ball boys shoving the players. It was terrible. It was a terrible outlook. It was terrible. Now, I'm rooting for Brazil to destroy Morocco. I think Brazil are gonna have an easy ride to the knockouts. I don't know how this does to the psychology of Morocco. I don't know how they're able to. Um, I'll commend Morocco if they do get a result against Brazil, but clearly, in a matter of months, I don't think it is enough psychological recovery for Morocco. I think Brazil are safe to win the group. I think um, Morocco are. It was a very tough loss to recover psychologically when the World Cup is literally 4 or 5 months later. Senegal deserve all the credit. Two AFCON tournament wins, 2021, 2025. That truly is a golden generation. I truly would love to see Senegal face off against Argentina in the World Cup knockouts. I'm not sure, uh, depending on who finishes runner up, who wins the group, if Senegal, Argentina is possible, but two-time AFCON champions and a two-time Copa America, one-time World Cup champion Argentina. I think Argentina Senegal matchup would be a very intriguing matchup for the world of football. So again, very deserving victory for Senegal. They deserve it. They overcame everything with the host, and uh, um, Senegal had the better quality with their deep runs in AFCON and beating England at Wembley. And I think Morocco don't score enough goals, but they did give Senegal a hard time. So you have to give Morocco their props. Um, but they just don't score enough outside of Brahim Diaz. My tournament record is very, very strong. If you can predict the winner before the tournament, they make it to the final. Anything can happen in the final. They're good enough to make it to the final. England and Morocco. Argentina are on a golden generation run, so they're very, very, very special. Now, I think Africa's best World Cup chance is Senegal because of the momentum that Senegal have. Morocco, they tried to win with referee help, and obviously the home crowd support and messing around with the ball boys too. I mean, you made it to World Cup semifinal. You gave France a difficult time. You don't have to resort to these dirty tactics because you lost in the round of 16. You have to resort to these dirty tactics. I mean, I put a bet on Morocco before the tournament, and Morocco, they didn't deserve it. They didn't deserve it. Senegal, you can understand the frustration with corrupt referee decisions. They had every right to walk off the pitch, I think. At the end of the day, football injustice won and prevailed. Football injustice prevailed at the end of the day. I will hope to see Argentina face off against Senegal. Um, I don't know which side of the bracket Senegal are on, or if it's possible for them to face off against Argentina, but it may not be possible. Um, but Senegal, it's a very deserved AFCON championship.